Study Session 7. The Structure-Based Systems Theory of R.B. Cattell. Introduction. The aim of this study session is to introduce you to another perspective in the trait theory by Raymond B. Cattell, who sees personality as a system in relation to the environment. He believes that there are many factors within the individual's culture that would determine his or her personality. Thus, personality should be viewed from multivariate perspectives and should also be measurable. He introduced mathematical concepts in the personality formation. When you have studied this session, you should be able to 1. Explain the concept of multivariate approach to the study of personality. 2. Point out how cultures and groups influence personality. 3. Use tentative statement of relationship to determine personality type. And 4. Explain the assessment technique involved in Cattell's theory of personality. Structure-based systems theory. The structure-based system theory of personality is founded on the dynamic interaction between biologically determined traits and the social environment. Cattell, 1950, is of the opinion that the relationship between traits and environment produce change and growth in individuals. In emphasizing the importance of the adequacy of personality theory, Cattell believes that a good theory must be able to examine and explain the goal-directed motivations of individuals with particular reference to cognitive processes. In this regard, personality is seen as being beyond simple conditioning principles. It also involves complex cognitive activities and motivational learning, which guide people's behaviors. In addition, the role of culture and groups within a culture in influencing individuals and how the individual influences the group are also of paramount importance. Cattell theory sees personality study as a scientific endeavor that calls for multivariate research and precise measurement. That is, every construct must be measurable in one way or the other. To arrive at a theory, empirical observation must be the starting point. This leads to the statement of hypothesis, that is, tentative statement of relationship, followed by testing the stated hypothesis in an empirical manner. The obtained results are then organized into a theory, which again generates new hypotheses that lead to the collection of fresh data, and the process begins all over again. This theory building process is referred to as inductive hypothetical deductive spiral, according to Nesselrode and Cattell, 1988. Structure-based systems theory strongly argues that bivariate method of research in psychology, open bracket, manipulating an independent variable and assessing its effect on a dependent variable, close bracket, in order not to reduce human behavior to bits and thus lose the overall impression. According to Cattell, rather, multivariate method is better because it will allow consideration of the whole person and complexity of human behavior. Cattell's approach to personality study is purely mathematical, and this is manifested in all his work. He defines personality as that which tells what a person will do when placed in a given situation. Rickman, 1997. This definition could be expressed as a mathematical formula, which is R equals F into bracket S P, close bracket. This formula means the behavioral response R of a person is a function F of the situation S confronted by the individual's personality P. The bottom line of the theory then is that personality traits and prevailing situations influence behavior. Central to the work of Cattell is the issue of traits. He considers traits as relatively permanent and broad reaction tendencies, which serve as building blocks of personality. Some of the traits identified by Cattell are enumerated below. Types of traits. Constitutional traits. These are biologically determined traits that are genetically programmed and hereditary in nature. Environmental mold traits. These traits develop through experience brought about by the interaction of the individuals with the environment, which is nurture. Ability traits. This refers to a person's skill in dealing with the complexity of a given situation. For example, intelligence. Temperament. Stylistic tendencies being, for example, chronically irritable, moody, excitable, easygoing, or bold. Rickman, 1997. Dynamic traits. This refers to a person's motivation and interests. For example, ambitious, power-seeking, and so on. Cattell opines that to have a proper understanding of personality, there should be an inventory of all personality traits that can be named and used to describe individuals. In this regard, Cattell, 1957, examined 4,500 trait names that were compiled by Allport and Oldbert, 1936, which he worked on and reduced to 171 traits put into 36 clusters, and then added 10 more from psychiatric literature to make 46 clusters. Using these items and clusters, Cattell developed in a questionnaire administered to people the 16 underlying source traits of personality, which he then used to develop what is today known as the 16 personality factor, that is 16PF questionnaire. Assessment techniques. Based on the psychometric assumption underlying the structure-based systems theory, it is not surprising that the assessment techniques are quantitative and not qualitative. Cattell emphasizes that masses of data must be collected from large numbers of people. To obtain such data, Cattell relies on three major procedures: L data, Q data, and T data methods. Rickman, 1997. L data. This also refers to life record data, and it is the measurement of behavior in actual, everyday situations. For example, the number of automobile accidents of a person in 20 years, school record, club membership, and so on. Q data. This is a questionnaire method where respondents are expected to fill questionnaires in an interview situation from which trait scores can be derived. T data. This is based on objective tests in which an observer gathers information in a standard test institution and assigns scores. Study session summary. In this study session, we have examined the structure-based systems theory of R.B. Cattell. The theory states that the environment and the traits inherent in individuals determine personalities and human behavior. We noted that it was Cattell that introduced mathematical approach to personality theories and suggested multivariate approach to determination of individual personality. His method of assessment brought in the use of inventory to personality issues. End of study session 7. Thank you for listening.